most recent election season, you recall hearing about the minimum wage. Keep your hand raised if you have ever worked a minimum wage paying job. That includes most of us, including me, and we know that the minimum wage is the minimum amount of compensation that workers can receive under federal law. According to Forbes magazine, the goal of the minimum wage is not to raise or lower unemployment, nor should it be, because evidence suggests that it really can't. Its purpose is more social, meant to protect people that cannot protect themselves due to the lack of resources. As a business student here at the University of Kentucky, I feel it is important for me to research, understand, and develop my own opinion as to the federal minimum wage standards. So today, I'll present to you the argument for increasing the minimum wage, the argument for keeping the minimum wage the same, and ultimately presenting my case for why it should not be raised at all. To start things off, we will analyze the argument for raising the minimum wage using three key pieces that are used. First, it is argued that raising the minimum wage will spur job growth. According to the Economic Policy Institute, it states that the current rate of $7.25 an hour jumped to $10.10 an hour would inject $21.2 billion net into the economy and create about 85,000 new jobs over a 3-year period. These numbers would be critical to reducing our country's unemployment while simultaneously growing the economy. Second, the case is made that the minimum wage is not substantial enough to cover housing and everyday essentials. This can be true as working 40 hours a week at a salary of $7.25 an hour only brings in a net income of $15,080, and that's even before taxes are taken out. Lastly, it is believed that a higher minimum wage will lead to increased worker productivity and decreased employee turnover. A 2014 survey found that 53% of small business owners believe that with a higher minimum wage, businesses would benefit from lower employee turnover, increased productivity, and customer satisfaction. These all seem like valid options to raise the minimum wage, but here are some reasons as to why those don't necessarily tell the entire story. In several studies, it was stated that raising the minimum wage would actually reduce the amount of jobs and block out qualified candidates. The best analogy I have to explain this comes from Dr. Sanderson, a professor at Cornell. He states, if overnight the government imposed taxes of $6 per pack on your cigarettes, you would continue to smoke 2 packs a day of cigarettes at $10 a pack. Probably not. Even if you were extremely addicted, you'd probably cut back on how much you smoked because of the new increase in price. As an employer, the increased salary would make them seem less likely to hire more employees because it becomes more expensive per employee. So the only options employers would have is to lay people off or raise their prices, which would completely counteract the idea of raising the minimum wage. Not only this, but according to a 2005 study by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, most minimum wage workers are young. About half of these workers are less than 25 years old, and about 25% were in the range of 16 to 18. These are not people who necessarily are trying to make a living off these salaries, and sometimes have the money just purely for fun money. The last thing I will say about keeping the minimum wage the same is that with higher wages, there is a significant chance that employees' benefits will be slashed. A 2014 study of 400 U.S. chief financial officers by Campbell Harvey, professor of international business at Duke University, found that 40% of CFOs would reduce employee benefits if a minimum wage were increased to $10 an hour. With all of this being said, I would have to agree with the argument that to keep the minimum wage the same for the time being. I truly think that it would cause significant financial issues for companies and may even cause them to shut down. This is not representative of the American dream, and I firmly believe that alternative solutions exist that could help people out who are trying to live off a minimum wage, and these are things that we need to consider. In conclusion, yes, the minimum wage presents a difficult challenge to make a living, but the effect that it would have on businesses and the availability of jobs would be detrimental to our nation's economy. So I leave you with this. While we have the opportunity here at the University of Kentucky to study hard and get a degree, let's make it happen so that we can earn better salaries and have prosperous careers. That will allow us to relax about our financial security. Thank you.